All right, we're back once again for another episode. Let's go over the NFL divisional weekend and let's get it started with the first game, the Bills at the Broncos. Broncos get the home win in overtime, knocking off Josh Allen and the Bills 33-30. If it's not Josh Allen's fault, whose is it? Buffalo dominated this game offensively from the ground to the passing game, but you're not going to win any game, much less a playoff game of this caliber with 5 turnovers. And that's what happened to Buffalo. And in true Josh Allen fashion, everyone else gets blamed, the officials, the coach, everyone else except for Josh Allen. So I don't think there's any more skating by for Josh Allen. Put him in the same bin with Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, all the potential's there, but they just can't get the job done. And this time they couldn't get it done against the Broncos and Bo Nix. Patrick Mahomes wasn't even in the playoffs. And this is another game where Josh Allen loses divisional round, where his only 2 victories have been against none other than Lamar Jackson. 5 turnovers, disappointing game. On the other hand, Bo Nix made the plays when his team needed him. I believe, did he even have an interception? Maybe one interception, which, looks incredible compared to Josh Allen's stat line. But Bo Nix made the throws. He made the plays. I don't think you can blame the refs in this game. I disagree with the way the refs basically took over the game. You can call that fixing entertainment for the NFL so the Freemasons can get their 30, all the conspiracy theorists. I get it, whatever. But at the end of the day, Buffalo had the game in their hands, and they literally gave it away to Bo Nix and Denver. You got to give credit to this Denver defense for at least holding tough and making some stops, forcing the turnovers, and then taking advantage of it with Bo Nix on that offense. Unfortunately for Denver, Bo Nix, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation out there. Did Bo Nix get injured on a tackle, one of the last 2 plays of the game, or was he injured celebrating inside the locker room, which is what many people are saying because he looked fine on the field, but once he went in the locker room, came out of the locker room, different story. We'll never know. But the NFL script writers, they get it right once again because none other than Texas boy from Baylor, Jared Stidham, comes in and he'll be starting for the Denver Broncos. Great storyline because Jared Stidham got his first opportunity with the Patriots, and now he'll be playing against the Patriots at home in the AFC Championship with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Looks like Bo Nix is out for the season. It's all in Stidham's hands if he stays healthy. If not, I believe backup is Sam Ellinger. And they also signed Ben DiNucci, which I'm guessing is going to be the practice squad just in case something horrific happens. Hopefully not. But let's go back to Buffalo. What's the problem with the Bills? Is it Josh Allen? Many would say it's Josh Allen. Little cuckery, Haley Steinfeld, but it's everyone else's fault. Remember that? It's Stephon Diggs, Sean McDermott, the referees, the officiating, everyone else's fault, and there's no accountability for quarterback Josh Allen. Now they get rid of Sean McDermott. He goes, who knows where he's going to go? Probably the Cardinals. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But who are they going to hire? I'm hearing that it's going to be Brian Daboll. Bring Daboll in. He's got a great relationship with Josh Allen. I could see that. I don't get it, but I could see that happening. But yeah, this Bills team, their window is getting closed and slammed shut season by season, week by week. They got to do something to turn this around. Will they? I don't think so. I think everyone else in the AFC is improving, and the Bills are not. They're going the opposite direction. All right, enough with this game. I can't wait to see Jared Stidham play against the Patriots. I think this Broncos team will be even more locked in, even though Bo Nix did have a great game, and I'm not anti-Bo Nix. Jared Stidham's not a terrible replacement to have in case of emergency like this. All right, next game. 49ers travel to Seattle, NFC West rivalry game to head to the NFC Championship, and Seattle absolutely obliterates the 49ers. And we talked about this pregame. We got a game where we hit right on the head, and that was this one. We said Niners will not score more than 10 points. Seattle will score more than 20. They scored, 41 points. It was a great game from Seattle. They dominated. Just got news today. Zach Charbonnet torn ACL. out for the season. Have no fear. Kenneth Walker III is here. He'll be fine. They've got backup running backs that'll do just fine. Although Charbonnet's been great in the short yardage and as a spell back for Kenneth Walker, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily in a huge amount of trouble because they are deep at the running back position. They should be fine. Sam Darnold doesn't have an amazing game, but gets to have basically another bye week to head into the NFC Championship against the rival Rams. What a game. We'll get into that obviously later in the week, but everything sets up here for Seattle. They dominated this game. 49ers really didn't have a chance, had a lot going against them. No excuses. Seattle is the better team. They were the better team. Let's head to the next game. We had some bangers yesterday, and I hit this game right on the head, although the Texans didn't cover because I thought CJ Stroud was going to protect the ball. He obviously didn't. He had 5 turnovers, just one of the worst quarterbacks. Low IQ CJ Stroud is what I'm calling him. Very low IQ. If you're Houston, you got to get rid of him. Texans 16, Patriots 28. Drake May made a couple throws. One good throw for a diving catch. Kayshon Boutte saved the day for the Patriots, slammed the door shut on the Texans. Although I thought, well, the Texans were in this game throughout the entire game, even with all the turnovers, because they turned Drake May over, which we talked about. Drake May is very susceptible to turnovers, just like CJ Stroud. Only problem is Patriots cashed in on their turnovers and the Texans did not. Also, handing them 2 pick sixes wasn't ideal for Houston either. Just a nightmare all the way around. What do you do if you're the Houston Texans? CJ Stroud's on his last year of his rookie deal. Do you extend him? Do you find another quarterback? If I'm Houston, I've seen everything I need to see. Do whatever it takes to find a competent quarterback because you just wasted a Super Bowl defense. And luckily, their defense, everyone on the defensive side of the ball got paid first. So everyone should be good money wise on that side. They are still fairly young. Will Anderson's young. Defensive backs are young. Al-Shaair is a little older, but next year he should be fine. And then you have the other pass rusher from the Vikings, Danielle Hunter. He's getting up there, but as you saw this year, there's nothing wrong with him. He was fine. So the window's still open for this Texans team, especially the defensive side of the football. But they're going to need to find a new quarterback. Maybe it's Davis Mills. He knows the system. He won just as many games as CJ Stroud did this year. He took the Broncos to what? It was a 9-6 final. So Houston can't waste this defense. And I'm not the only one that knows this. The front office knows this. D'Amico Ryans knows this. Although everyone's backing CJ Stroud, they say that he's their quarterback. I just don't see it. If you're watching the game, he's just standing there with like a deer in the headlights, getting smashed, not reading the defense, not making the throws. The guys were open. We talked about this. Same thing with the Chargers, the wide receivers, the running backs. They were open, but they weren't making the throws. Justin Herbert had like a second and a half to throw. CJ Stroud had longer, but he's just holding on to the football, not making any throws. Wide receivers, some of the wide receivers didn't do him any favors. There was a lot of drops yesterday. All in all, you have to give credit to the Patriots for having just as an ugly game, but they did convert and they put the ball in the end zone. They fumbled it on the 15-yard line with Woody Marks after having a great drive to maybe get this game within 1 or 2 points. Texans just couldn't finish the deal. Big reason also. They had, what was it? 10? No, they were going to go up 14-3. They call illegal motion. Texans score a touchdown. They call illegal motion. They bring it back. Texans end up having to settle for a field goal. But in my opinion, that should have been a touchdown. Might have changed the game quite a bit. Because if you get those extra 4 points, and it would have swung the game a little bit, but that didn't happen. Ifs or ifs. Houston, you do have a problem. You need to find a new quarterback. I sold all my CJ Stroud stock, although I did buy some more yesterday morning, which was a massive mistake. And now it's trading it's a penny stock. CJ Stroud is a penny stock right now. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Get whatever nickels you can and just sell all your stock. Phillip Rivers takes this team to Super Bowl. Jacoby Brissett takes this team to a Super Bowl. Davis Mills might even have taken this team to a Super Bowl. Just a pathetic and awful end of the season for the Texans. All right, last but not least, we had the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford travel to chilly, snowy Chicago, 19 degrees and less. felt like -10. Take on the Bears. Rams win 20-17. Another overtime game. Another game where the Cardiac Bears, the team of destiny, almost came back and win thanks to a Caleb Williams backpedaling for 50 yards, Hail Mary to the end zone. I don't know how that happens, but thankfully they are not rewarded for that ridiculous play. Instead, the Rams lock up the game, turn over Caleb Williams. Bears have 5 turnovers. Rams, I believe, only had 1, but the Bears, what are you going to do here? Ben Johnson, super aggressive. If he plays, and we talked about this last week, if you just stay conservative and kick the field goals, these are short field goals, not very long field goals, you give yourself a chance at the end of the game. Instead, they finished, I believe, 2 or 3 of 6 on 4th down. Let me double check that. I looked at it earlier, but yeah, they finished 3 of 6 on 4th down. One of those being that Hail Mary throw at the very end of the game. Also blows the spread for the Rams. I said this game would land on 3. I actually thought the Rams were going to blow out the Bears, but seeing as how the first game was kind of a blowout, one of these games was going to be a field goal game, and process of elimination, Rams Bears were going to be a field goal game, and there you have it. 20-17. We get an amazing NFC Championship with the Rams and Seattle round 3. Should be a great matchup. Should be a great game. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. What do you do from here? Luckily, they're still young, but this aggression, they got to figure it out. You have, Caleb Williams that digs you into these holes. My bad. The Rams had some trouble when they were getting blitzed. Matthew Stafford was having some trouble, but they couldn't cash anything in the Chicago Bears. And a lot of that had to do with just being overly aggressive. Caleb Williams, too many turnovers. Same story, different day. This time he didn't come back and save them in heroic fashion. Otherwise, we'd be having a different conversation of how, the comeback, he's amazing. Ben Johnson's a genius. Instead, the facts are facts. Way too many turnovers. Way over aggressive on 4th down. Should have never beat the Packers. They didn't beat the Rams. They weren't rewarded for the ridiculous play. Thankfully, the Rams saved us from that. But that was divisional weekend. I had myself a pretty poor weekend thanks to the Bills blowing it in overtime, thanks to the Rams blowing it in overtime or before overtime. And then again, I was all over the Seahawks. And then I had the Texans, but what are you going to do? I said that this defense was going to force turnovers on Drake May. Little did I know. Well, actually, I did know. I just was, wishfully thinking that CJ Stroud wouldn't turn the ball over 6 times. He did. So we're having this conversation. But that's it for the divisional round. I'll have a new video up for the national championship later today. I'm going to see if there's any more line movement, but I should be recording that here pretty soon. And again, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and also trolling. I appreciate the engagement. So thank you, and we'll see you for NFC Championship week next weekend and the national championship tonight. All right, see y'all.